So yeah, just give us a shout in the chat if you can see anything going on. As it's okay now, so I got red line again. I cannot win tonight. My internet connection seems a lot better since I've fiddled around with stuff though. So I don't know why this is still playing up. I'll just write in the chat. Peter Nicholas says back for now. That's something. I'm still getting the red line on. Basically, YouTube, as you probably gathered from now, it has a line, and it just green means the stream's good, yellow means it's a bit slow, and then red's just like it's really bad, and then there's grey, which means it's gone. Yeah, try refreshing your page if you can't see it, maybe. Of course, there's no point me telling you that because you can't see it, so. Yeah, thanks, Madco. Technology, eh? It's been fine, been fine for a long time, and then just about an hour before I watched to start the show, it just went in total lag. Just a whole internet, just on this PC, not even on all my devices, just on this PC, and there doesn't seem to be anything interfering with it. Yeah, I hope it's working for you now, Harry. And I hope it stays like this. I really do. So anyway, I think I've got all the layers of jaundice down on these miniatures. Yes, weird how it just sort of comes back for some people and other people have to refresh. I don't really get that. I just need to move this window if I can. There we go. This colour is citrus orange from Badger Minotaur. Do you have a window behind you and light shining in? It's dark out here. No, I don't, but my light bulb blew the other day, and the only one I had to replace it is like super bright. So that's why it might look like it's really bright in here. I need to get a different light bulb, because I don't need it this bright. Is that? No, that's not too bad. Yeah, it could depend on the browser. That's true. So yeah, the one type of paint I never get on with is orange. Now I will say, if you ever use Badger Minotaur paints for the airbrush, most of them are alright straight out of the pot, but the oranges seem really thick. Like this one is about as thick as a GW paint, maybe even as thick as a base paint. It really is. So that needs thinning down. Put on some Agrax on your Stormcast during the blackout, yeah. Oh dear. It's not bad for video quality. Yeah, it does make the video quality look better actually. So I'm just going to lay the citrus orange down. Doesn't even matter if the jaundice is dry because you can sort of just blend them in a little bit. That gives us our nice little transition of colours. I really enjoy painting this colour scheme actually. I'm glad I've chose it. What we're going to talk about today, Mad Cow's suggested religion. Well, I'm not a religious person. I don't know a great deal about religions. Yeah, we have stepped on eggshells with that, aren't we? The Sisters clock has been reset 2 times this week with some rumours about them being the first codex of 2018. Yeah, they're the first codex of this year as well. I think it will happen though. Sooner. Well, I would say sooner rather than later, but I think it will happen eventually. Just as very hard to believe any rumours on them, isn't it? Because they just never happen. But with like Gene Stealer Cops coming back, Deathwatch getting their own codex and stuff, it seems likely they'd do Sisters at some point. We can but hope. Worship Sigma and Korn. I think both of them would have something to say about that. Let's grab Typhus. Yeah, I remember that rumour. Remember that teaser video they had? I think it might have been for Magnus the Red one where they mentioned the plastic Sisters of the Battle. You'd like to think they wouldn't tease that without having some idea about actually doing them, because that'd be horrible. Be a very nasty move by GW. Yeah, I mean, Grey Notes Codex. I'm not sure, like, all these codexes being released without sort of any sort of new miniatures. I mean, they're nice, but I don't know. I feel GW could just wait, do it a similar way they've done it with Age of Sigma. Because we're going to get all these nice codexes out for £25, £30 or whatever. And they'll just have well, not formations, but they'll have, basically they're sort of getting their own chapter tactics style things and warlord traits and things like that. They'll get all that. Few rules updated and some points and stuff. But then, as soon as like new miniatures come out, they'll probably end up having them redoing all the codexes again, so I don't know. I don't know what GW's plan is. Or they could simply just be wanting to do some new codexes, which of course would mean Sisters of Battle. It could just be a case of them releasing codexes for stuff that they don't plan on releasing any new miniatures for in this edition. Which I think, in regards to like Astra Militarum, Chaos, Space Marines and that's probably okay. Because if they were to then focus on the Eldar, Dark Eldar, Orcs, Tyranids, Sisters of Battle, Tau, focus on all them, focus on all the Xenos races, Necrons as well. if they focused on all of them this edition, then I don't think too many people would have complaints. I certainly wouldn't. So yeah, this doesn't look like much at this stage, but once you get the shade wash on later on, it goes more like that, and it brings the colours together nicely, and there's a much nicer scheme. But I do that once all the metal areas are done as well. Phoenix has only lost for Daenerys. Some new GW name for elves. Yeah, that's what the Dark Elves will be called. I quite like the name for Dark Elf down there. Is it like Drakari or something? I think that's quite cool. Something like that, isn't it? Exactly, what is the next codex to have miniatures? I mean, yeah. Maybe it will be Sisters. I mean, I don't really know what's been sort of rumoured at all, really. Just not. They reckon next year's going to be like a year for Xenos, but we'll see. Yeah, I mean, to a degree, I think you're right. They have no idea what will make money apart from Space Marines. Yeah, and I think that makes sense. I think everything apart from Space Marines that they put out is probably a bit of a risk for them, but still doesn't mean they shouldn't invest the time and money making new miniatures for other stuff. There's absolutely no reason. I mean, they're sort of stuck in this vicious cycle, aren't they? Where Space Marines do well, so they do more Space Marines, and then Space Marines do well because they've done a lot of stuff for Space Marines. Whereas if they put that same sort of effort into another faction, they probably could do as well. I mean, you'd like to think the Imperial Guard, at least, would be quite popular because they're sort of just human miniatures, and just imagine Eldar and Orcs probably be quite popular as well. If you really have a good miniature line for them. It's hard to say, really. Yeah, I mean, there's a latest one where they said like Blood Bowl did really well, and they were a bit surprised by that. It's like, well, you know, it's an old game that they've just brought back. One of the first ones they've brought back, like specialist games. It's going to be popular. I think all their specialist games will do quite well initially. They might have some sort of drop off after a while, but I think initially everyone was quite excited for it. Yeah, if the Space Marine sales are down, they'll release even more Space Marines. And if the Space Marine sales are good, they'll release even more Space Marines. Either way, the answer is always Space Marines. I'm kinda on the fence in regards to the Primera Space Marines fluff. Like, when you look at this Death Guard stuff, like, these guys are much bigger than Space Marines, but they're not Primaris Marines, they are just regular Death Guard. And I know it's easier to do with Death Guard. I've only got these guys as well, who like just Terminators, but they are massive. And I suppose it's easier to do with scale creep with stuff like that, rather than just bringing out a scale creep tactical squad. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but I hope eventually they do actually just replace the Space Marine range of all Primaris size stuff, but like still keep the old aesthetic. So like if they came up with Primaris Devastator squads, Primaris Assault squads, or actually just like the ones we had now, that's what I'd like to see. I mean, I just don't like the Inceptors much. And I don't like the Gravis suits as much as I like Terminator armor. If we had bigger Terminator armor like this for Space Marines, I think that'd be awesome. Queensoft Game says, "Aha, you're back." Yeah, I've been back for about a quarter of an hour now, and touch wood, it's going okay. The original failed stream won't actually be on YouTube, so for anyone who watches these streams back, yeah, this will be slightly shorter than normal because we sort of lost the first half hour to internet connections, which were non-existent. Yeah, that's one thing I will agree with you there, Mad Cow, is that I'm not a massive fan of the Monopo stuff. They're quite nice from like my point of view in terms of actually cutting them up to sell, but then at the same time they're a bit of a tougher sell, because obviously there's not a lot you can do with them, but I think we've done the orange on all of them now. Yeah, I hope the Plague Marines will be just more like... Oh, excuse me, just more like regular stuff. Oh, this Fanta's really giving me wind. The thing is, with Monopo stuff, you can just go a bit mad on the detail, which is what they've done. But, I don't know. They could have made these so the legs and torsos were separate pieces. It wouldn't have been impossible for them. But I don't know, yeah. Inspirational Mini says, "Can anyone explain what the deal with Firestorm is? Is it a campaign map for Age of Sigmar or something?" I have actually got one just over there. There is like a campaign sort of system to it. There's sort of rules for playing as different seas. I think there's formations in there and missions in there. There's cards you can use for the games as well. It seems pretty cool. I haven't really looked at it properly, but just had a quick sort of look through there. It seems pretty cool. Basic Miniature Painting says, "All GW have to do is ask for people who spend their money in their shops. It's not difficult to do an advertising campaign to ask what we want." Yeah, I mean, they've got Facebook now and Twitter and all sorts. It's easier to do polls these days. And I know they don't reflect everyone, but even so, if it just reflects a small portion of your fan base, there's probably some correlation between that and everyone, you know. And the people who are more interactive with you on social media are usually the ones who are more likely to be customers and support you. I certainly know that from a lot of the guys here, so yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, those people are the important ones. So it'd be nice if GW did that. Obviously, they're so far ahead with their plan, they've probably got their next 6 months already done, if not longer, but yeah, it would be nice if they asked for people's opinions a bit more on stuff. Madcap says, "Some 10 to 15 years ago, GW did a survey asking what people wanted. This was the battle in Plastic 1, so GW made more Plastic Space Marines." Yeah. I don't know, I just put some orange on the brush there. We don't need orange anymore. Make the show shorter. It's just a bad excuse. All you have to do is broadcast for 30 minutes longer to fix it. Yeah. I'll get a clip round here from the missus if I was still going. That's the only problem with that. Not like last week when she wasn't here and we could just go for 3 hours. Bloody hell. This one's like painted itself shut. let's use this brush to get it on the palette. So I'm using this like plastic palette thing that we just had lying around. It's quite handy. My wet palette's still got a lot of paint from this bust I've been working on. So muck around with that. But yeah, I haven't shown you guys her since last week. She's getting there. She's coming along quite nicely. I'm quite happy with her. I just really haven't had much time to work on her lately because I have actually been working on this. I'm working on Thunder Tusk, but I didn't want to paint it on the live show because we did a Stonehorn not long ago. So I'll come back to that. I haven't got to finish it for a while, but yeah, I'm quite happy how she's turning out. But she'll just have to go on the back burner just for a little while. She's almost done, mind you. How much cheaper to produce can monopose be? It's easier to produce as the sprues will be smaller and less complicated than posable kits. Instead of 10 bits to make a model, you can do with 3. Yeah, there's still quite a few bits on the like we've got the Terminators here because I'm going to build some of them up at some point. But yeah, there is like when you get these bodies and legs together, they're basically 3 pieces to do all that. And you can't sort of do different poses, you can't do different torsos on different legs, so every one you build is going to be similar. But I think all the arms can just go on either one. They don't seem, I mean, if they don't, it'd be quite easy to make them, so they did. The flail thing's huge. I love that. But yeah, this is all you get for the Terminators. But they've been selling really well. I put them up on the site yesterday and sold almost, well, we've sold loads of the bits. So I'm going to have to get some more in very soon. But they are really nice. They are gorgeous. The detail is fantastic on them. But there's still quite a few weapon options on there. They're not too bad. But yeah, they are quite expensive. I not like 35 quid or something, which is quite a lot. But they are huge. Yeah, some of the prices are a bit insane. They've done well not to just increase prices of like everything, but the newer stuff that comes out is a bit crazy. I have a feeling the Plague Wing box might only be 7 miniatures, which is really bad. And then you got like that Champion and the Icon Bearer, which you don't need, but they're like 15 quid each. Like, ugh, just don't need to exist, them miniatures. It has been suggested that I do some conversion videos on trying to do some Death Guard sort of characters on the cheap. Like the Apothecary style one you could convert up quite easily. So I might look into that for future videos. Trying to focus on these metal areas now. I'll post a picture of a bald guy holding money with a GW logo above him. Yeah, I mean they could probably lower the price of everything by 50% and still make a profit. At the same time, so could I suppose. Possibly. Maybe? I don't know. Possibly. But it'd be a very small profit I won't be able to live on, mind you. So that's sort of different. So there's not as many sort of metal areas. I don't know. colour the Destroyer Hive thing is. Same goes for Forge World. China Cast is evident of that selling for 50 to 90% cheaper than Forge World, often with better quality as well. I should have a klaxon for Mad Cow mentioning China Cast. I'm sure you brought it up on Way of a Brush not long ago as well. But yeah, if you can get these China Cast stuff, it's worth going for. These haven't got Destroyer Hives, have they? I can't remember what colour they're painted in. It might just be bone. So we'll just do the bits we know are going to be metal. Yeah, I mean that's true. It's like the resin I was doing that bust with. That's clearly got to be toxic as well, because it almost sort of smelled like petrol as I was filing it. Like it had this really strong smell to it. So there's no way that's non-toxic if it smells like that. So I had to like wear a mask just to file off mold lines and stuff. But you know, if you're paying a lot less, then you should probably expect that. But, you know. Actually, if I do all the sides with this big brush, then we'll come back and do the smaller details. So GW pricing is about market saturation. Space Marine has no value whatsoever on the aftermarket because GW has flooded the market with them in every starter set. Yeah, that's true. I think there's a shitty way of doing it. If they could simply have increased the size of the old kits and released them with slightly cheaper price, I doubt anyone would have complained. Well, Mr. One says, I expect this is why we got Primaris, so people will have to rebuy their Space Marine. Yeah, I mean, as I was saying earlier, I still think the other stuff will get phased out if they get replaced. But I do want to see them get replaced with Primaris stuff size kits. I think that'd be cool. There's definitely a scale creep. I mean, you just know once, say, we do some more orc stuff, they're going to be like this, like the yeah, I don't know what they're called now. So the Iron Jaws, the big brutes and stuff, they'll look like that when they'll be that size. Orcs, yeah. Orcs. I mean, yeah, it couldn't have been that difficult to design the Primaris Marines. Not vastly different to the regular ones. What I don't like about them though is that I don't like their backpacks on the Primaris Marines. I think they're horrible, and there's no variety to them between any of the sets. They all look identical. A lot of the torsos are just identical, just with the Aquila on. There's no different variations to them, like there was in a tactical squad, so I'm really disappointed with that. And again, with them, you seem to have legs and torsos all sort of going together, rather than just having torsos and legs that you can just mix and match with. So they have been quite disappointing from that sort of sense. And it's sort of different with them because at least these guys look just amazing. 133 Darkness says, love the Typhus conversion, looks so much better. Thank you. That's gone down really well, that Typhus conversion, so I'm really glad with that. And yeah, he's getting painted up today, so he'll look good once I get all the once I get the wash on him. Which, how are we doing for time? We've still got nearly an hour. So we should get to that stage this evening. Try and get these little bits of chainmail painted. Not quite sure why you'd have chainmail over your power armor. I don't think it's going to add much extra protection there. But I suppose it looks cool. Got a little bit on your armor there. Oops. I guess it does have that sort of war cry thing to it. I just think they could have done it better. We don't actually have any orange on the bottom of that one. Oops. Nice is subjective when it comes to Nurgle. That is true. There we go. Yeah, when it comes to Slanesh, nice is something completely different. Yeah, I've had feelings like that. You want to paint so much, but then you have to sleep. Oh, it's so much to do. I haven't had anything else back from commission painters yet. I know I've had a couple of them now who apparently have injured themselves. Conveniently, but I don't know. You have to sort of believe them, don't you? And some others which I reckon will be done very soon. And one of the guys was really good who got the Poxwalkers done. I'm definitely going to give him some more work, and I guarantee he'll probably finish the next batch before some of the others have. Yeah, that is true. There's a lot of extra details and stuff. You might not always want. I mean, luckily, all the crap coming out of their destroyer hives I didn't bother with. I don't like any of that. I mean, Typhus is really busy as it is, even without all the stuff he had swirling around him. Phoenix says the Death Guard Tones will have to wait a few months. He hasn't bought the codex yet. They are really nice. It'll be worth the wait. So I'm probably going to leave all the trim and stuff. Maybe do that in gold. We have this sort of thing on the back here. Maybe we'll do that silver. In my Typhus doesn't have all the chainmail because that was on the bits of the arms that I cut off, so don't have to worry about that. I think what we'll do, we'll paint this bit silver, and we'll do the skulls in the gold. Peanut says he spent his cash on Blight War. Nice. I still haven't picked it up. Mainly because I'm being really good lately. I'm making sure I just don't buy stuff for the sake of buying stuff like I have been for the past few months. That said, I did put a pre-order through for the Fallout stuff because it looks so nice. I didn't get a great deal because it is ridiculously expensive. They make GW look cheap, but it's so nice. Inspirational Mini says, any tips on filming an army? I have to film 2 of mine tomorrow. Is that just filming them as in like in a game, or just showing them off? Because if you're just showing them off, then don't know really. Just put them on something nice. Maybe if you got a nice table or something, or have some nice terrain around them. In terms of actually filming them. As long as your lighting's good and that, you should be okay. There's not much to it. Hope to use a Vanguard army for skirmish, but couldn't make a legal one. Huh. How's the connection for everyone? Because that went red then, but it's gone back to green for me, so I don't know if it went a bit laggy or not. Five sections of lag. Yeah, I think I went red for a little while. That's good. Seems to be a lot better than it was earlier. I don't know what that problem was. Maybe it's just having a bad day. I'm wondering where I should paint all these. No, I'll do these in the gold as well. I'll do silver on them. I'll probably do like a bone colour on the destroyer hives, I suppose. With these guys, I'm going to do like sort of nice sort of reddy purpley robes as well. Make them look a bit regal. And this brush is not doing too great. Let's use this one. So I use Relictor and 2 Liberators. Cool. There, we've had some good suggestions for the conversion corner on the Typhus video. And for those who weren't around earlier, I have filmed an Eldar one for some Exodites. That'll probably go up next week. Someone mentioned about doing like a Stormcast character, which I'll certainly do. I have to source the bits for that. But I have an idea. Actually, I might not have to source the bits, because I think I have actually got the bits I need for that. So that's going to be quite cool. Yeah, I'm enjoying doing these little conversion videos though. Any tips on painting miniatures indoors now that it's winter? I actually find it better in winter because you don't have the humidity to deal with, so your paint doesn't dry up as much. I don't know. The only thing that I would say is when you prime your miniatures, that's when you might get issues, because obviously with it being so cold, your primer could have a bit of a texture to it. I would recommend trying to get a brush-on primer, possibly just for the winter months, unless you can spray somewhere what's ventilated but also not too cold. But the actual painting, I find, isn't too bad. Yeah, if you use a shed or something and you haven't got the sort of cold wind on it, it won't be too bad, but you have to be careful. Personally, I use an airbrush to prime if it's too cold. But obviously not everyone has that luxury. So I don't really know why there's an obsession with bells when it comes to the Death Guard. They certainly wouldn't be able to sneak up on anyone. I mean, you couldn't imagine the Alpha Legion taking any Plague Marines or anything with them. Trying to be all stealthy in that, and then some Plague Marine rocks up with a bell on his back. Not really going to infiltrate the enemy like that. Anyone found a use for the Citadel painting app? Short answer, no. It's nice, but it just seems a bit basic. I find if you watch a lot of the watch a lot of Duncan's painting tutorials, then you start to sort of predict how he's going to paint certain colours and stuff. And the Citadel painting app sort of follows the same sort of fashion as a lot of his stuff. So there's obviously a set way how they paint certain colours and stuff on everything. And I suppose that makes sense, because every metal stuff should probably, that's everything on there. Every metal stuff should probably be consistent between all the painters. So it's sort of understandable from that sense. But yeah, I mean, it's great if you're just starting out. It's for the benefit of GW, yeah. It's a nice little thing, but there's a lot more they could do with it. No doubt it'll be updated over the months and years. Okay, so you want to build some Stormcast, but you don't want to use them shoulder pads on them. Any ideas on how to replace them? I would love to see that on a video. I'll get my thinking cap on for that one, and there probably are alternatives. These sort of cataphracti ones would probably work. Obviously not for these miniatures because they're attached to the arms, but actually I don't know on these ones. I think there might actually be a piece that goes above the arm. I think it might. Oh no, they are separate on them as well, but obviously they're Death Guard. I'll somehow unspace marine them. I'm probably not using Space Marine shoulder pads then. I wish you could do fan-based submissions on the app and then a rating system to filter the good ones from the not-so-good techniques. That would be cool, but GW like to keep everything just sort of official and done by them. Now you don't know how much could end up on the app. And then you have to be moderated and everything, so it'd be a lot of work for GW. The Death Guard bells may be from the Middle Ages, when bells were rung to inform of plagues. Yeah, I can see that. Obviously GW take the inspiration from everywhere. It makes sense. It doesn't make sense much in battle, but it makes sense. Sort of from their aesthetic. I think there's a Stormcast having some kind of Leon instead, but trying to buy for everyone for them left and right would cost a fortune. Yeah. I mean, there could be something from the York range you could use, but it wouldn't really match their sort of look. It's an interesting one. I would pay for them, but who's going to sell me so many? Yeah. Flying guy with a weird bird and bow. I think it might be. There are quite a lot of the line type shoulder pads for the Stormcast. Usually like the leaders for each squad. His might be like a bird, maybe. I can't remember. Is it just because the flesh mower sound like a Slanesh weapon? If they release a... Oh, excuse me. If they release a Slanesh codex, they should have a flamer weapon called a fleshlight or something. Oh dear, there goes the town. Usually mad cow as well. We can only hope Emperor's Children would get the same treatment, but it just doesn't seem likely at all, does it? I'd love a full Emperor's Children codex with like Sonic Terminators, Sonic Dreadnought. That'd be so cool. There was nothing stopping them giving them rules like that, but I don't know. Yeah, this is why Mad Cow's here. It's what he does best. As I say, this is a family show. Still, it can't be any worse than last week, so it would take a hell of a lot to lower that the tone of last week, so this doesn't even come close. Let me get some popcorn first. Got the Imperial Guard Codex. Sad to see no Rough Riders in it, so yet again you need the index to be able to play your army. Space Marines need 3 books, Death Guard needs 4, RG needs 3. That's really surprising. I guess they're just deliberately missing out stuff that they really just don't plan on ever releasing in plastic, and probably trying to phase stuff out. Rough Rider's always been one of them units that are absolutely terrible, but I don't know. They kind of have a place. I mean, like the Death Corps sort of equivalents are just absolutely fantastic miniatures. They look awesome. They can make Rough Riders like that, and I think more people would buy them and play them. Yeah, I heard about Crusaders being in it. That is very strange. That might be a conversion video I do in the future as well. Making your own custom Crusaders. I quite like the miniatures they have, but they only have like 2 poses. So a lot more gold on Typhus than on the other miniatures, as you'd probably expect. Priests I can understand and accept, but Crusaders, those are, in the new fluff, very religious fighting units. Question is if all Crusaders will be female, if else they break the decree passive. I see. So, the Elisiarchy? I'm terrible at pronunciation. And they can't have men with guns, which is why they have the Sisters of Battle as their chamber militant. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm familiar with them as the Inquisitor henchmen, but I didn't realise they fall under that category now. That's very interesting. So I'm going to base coat all the destroy hives in Xandri dust, and then hopefully we can... Excuse me, we can get a wash on. But I'm now looking at the wraps and the wood on the sides, and I think we should probably... Oh, Ecliosarchy, is it? Okay. Got a few horns and stuff as well. I don't know, we'll see where we get. We'll see, we've still got, what, 20 minutes? It's not too bad. Maybe just over. Yeah, so I thought them miniatures were men as well. I'm sure I've got some around here somewhere. On the shelves somewhere. They might be over, oh, they're right over there. Yeah, that could be an idea then. That could be an idea. Maybe I'll convert up some female ones. And then, who knows? Could be a good little conversion video to have. So I shall add that to the list. Any update with your new intro? No, the one I filmed I'll probably just scrap. and maybe get someone else to make a new one for us. We will have a new intro eventually, I promise. We got a chance to have Rough Riders made from Chaos Marauders riding cold ones. Cool. So there's still a few areas on here where I might actually paint gold. Just keep seeing more and more details on these miniatures. And to be honest, I like this one. A lot of people don't know, myself included, I'm afraid. Madcow says, did you post the Patreon bags yet, or was that on Monday? They have been posted. They have been posted. I think they were posted yesterday. So essentially... Oh, well, if in that case, Harjinder, get in touch. My email's on the screen. If you can drop us an email, I'll get back to you at some point, and maybe we can arrange something. I'm happy to pay for one. Yeah, so essentially what happens, Mad Cow, on the $20 pledge is the first month you get a nice bag of bits, and then each other month you get different gifts. Sometimes there'll be more bits, sometimes there might be other stuff. I know in your case you quite liked, you hinted at having a Medusa miniature. One of these ladies last week. You know, if you're still, well, I'll say Mad Cows, if you're still a Patreon, but after this month, then maybe one of them might just accidentally slip into your Patreon reward. But yeah, tomorrow I'm getting all stuff for the other patrons. I do all the new ones first. I do all the new patrons first because they all have a nice big bag of bits, and then the other guys have all various random stuff. And I've had no complaints yet, so the stuff we send out must be alright. Inspirational Mini says, because I love you I could do the music. Awesome. Yeah, literally you probably only need about 10 seconds or something, so it could be quite easy for you to do. Oh dear. That fan has really given me a wind this evening. Madcow says he doesn't know what to do with all his own spare bits. He buys some kits only for a single bit from them at some time. What I will say is if you ever sell them or get rid of them or something, then I guarantee you will need them bits before long. You might not know when, it could be years, but I guarantee you'll need them. It's always the way. Ah, cool, you resin cast stuff. That's pretty cool. Yeah, the flimsy stuff's probably a bit hard, but then you could maybe make them out of plastic card, maybe. If it's like swords and stuff. See, this is why Mad Cow mentions Chinese recasters, because he secretly is one. That's been quite a nice batch painting these guys. I'm just wondering whether Typhus's horn I should paint metal gold. Yeah, I'm going to have to go back to some of them colours. I did the vid for my first army showcase, and I just hated the YouTube library one, so I said fuck that and had to compose and record my own in 1 hour. Still hate it, but better than the YouTube library. Yeah, so I just use the stuff from Kevin MacLeod usually. I wanted to give Guilliman's sword to my Crusaders, but the flame detail is annoying to cast. So I'll just model and 3D print something better than once I get my Raging Hero miniatures. Nice. Beans Up Game says, I hate being dyslexic. I just misread my paint tubs and put a coat of flesh shade on a model when I wanted earthshade. Looks pretty strange now. Well, that's a shame. I think you'll just have to sort of just dip them onto a white... If you get a white palette or something and dip them onto there, just to double check for what they are before you use them. Or maybe you could come up with your own sort of stickers for them. There's always ways around these things. So before we go back to the other colours, let's get the strapping done. There you are. So I'll use rack our flesh on these. These just every colour I put on looks quite sort of pale. But once the shade goes on, it really adds a lot of depth to them. But we might not get to that stage tonight. I just wasn't concentrating, I blame you. Thanks. I take it as a compliment, so I'm obviously that entertaining. Just use your eyes, they're not so pretty for nothing after all. There comes a second compliment, don't ruin that one as well. I must have missed the first one. Did that get ruined? Yeah, I'll put some gold on the Man Reaper and stuff. So I'll do this gold as well. So yeah, we'll do that on this one. Damn, this painting scheme looks amazing. Well, and these guys, I really like the I do really like the colour scheme I've gone with on these, I must admit. I don't know why, but there we go. So odd little details and stuff. I think I'm just gonna stick all just gold on them for now. I can always come back. I've watered down this paint a bit too much though. Okay, so I think tiny little bit of wood and then Typhus will be ready. So I think what I'm going to do is get dried back and just paint them wood areas quickly. There's not a great deal of them. Mephitic Blight Haulers, whatever happened to them? Only 2 picks in the codex, you expect a new model to have more picks. Are they the little ones? I can only assume they're going to be pre-ordered, got the pre-order with the Plague Marines, maybe? Yeah, I was surprised I didn't see much of them in the codex though. They will not be released with the Plague Moons. Oh, so maybe the week after, I don't know. Been a hell of a release. Yeah, because actually, if I remember, they're not actually in the White Dwarf. That is very strange. A week after Deathguard got a 6-week release window, or was it 5-week? Yeah, it's about, it would be about 5 or 6. I mean, other stuff's getting sort of released sort of alongside them, which isn't so bad. He managed to ruin the second one as well. Uh-oh. I completely missed the first one. You'll have to talk me through that one, if you dare. Google it and you'll see pics. I'm wondering if it's a conversion or something, as a multi-map and missile launchers are the same as from the Hellbrute. That would be strange if so. I'll definitely have to give it a closer look. That's for sure. Yeah, they're in the White Dwarf in the army pick, but I'm actually there as a pre-order, like a lot of the other stuff, which is interesting. Right, must quickly look to see if there's any more gold areas actually first. I really wanted to get to the Shade Wash stage this evening, but I think I'm just going to fall short. There's still a lot of little details I haven't really picked out. Which is a shame. So I'll probably paint these little gun things. Gold as well. Oh, I see. I think I did see that earlier on. I just don't really pay much change. I think that's when the connection was playing up like it was, so yeah. I'm glad it's okay now though. Go away, Slanish. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish painting these gold areas and then we will call it there. Another thing about the Blight Hauler is it has no weapon options. It comes with all three of them apparently. That would suggest either a 3-unit box or a very small box, like if it cannot protect Spider. Judging by the price, I would say it's probably just single. Brush does not want to play ball now. Whoever's managed to stay awake this week, hooray! Yeah, I'm sure the price was in the White Dwarf. Hang on, I'll just quickly finish painting this bit and I'll have a quick look at that before I go. I also kept my concentration but stopped painting 30 minutes ago. Well, at least you got some done. That's still good. I do apologise again for the stutter and start. Have cut short the show this week, but I don't know what was causing it. Seems to have fixed itself slightly. Okay. Oh, sorry, I've gone. You're talking about the Blight Hauler, haven't you? Yeah, that's not in the White Dwarf, is it? Yeah. So I was thinking of the bloody drone then. Yeah, so it could be. That could be in a free miniature box then, because it is quite little. It's interesting. Yeah, sorry, I don't know why I started thinking about the drone then, because the drone's on its own. Yeah, I think you're right, it will be one or the other. It will be in a free box, or it will just be a small little box like the Spider. Sorry, it's getting late. Yeah, I've got the October one. And it's not in there, is it? It's just not in there. The last suggestion I have would be to make some older White Dwarf reviews for like magazines 5 or 6 years ago if you still have them. I have got a few somewhere. On our channel, if you go way back to the old videos, there is actually one of the first ever White Dwarf I got, which must now be, wow, almost 20 years old maybe, is it? Might have been from 1999. So yeah, the October one is just up here. Ta-da! That's October 1, isn't it? Yeah. We've literally got... See if I can get on this camera. Yeah, we've got the drone. And obviously the Plague Burst Crawler. And the Plague Marines are there. Only 7 are pictured. For £30. So it could be a box of 7. I've just got Terminators and stuff. Champion, Blightspawn, Plague Surgeon, Putrefier, Tarryman, but yeah, it doesn't go beyond that. Oh, it's Typhus as well. Yeah, so yeah, that must be a later release at least. There are only 7 in the box. That's a shame. That is I mean, yeah, I know it's their sacred number, but 30 quid though. How did I miss that? I thought I watched them all. This is like really old. This is like really old. Like maybe like 4 or 5 years old. Like before we started doing them regularly, so go way, way back. Nice picks, green but red background. Getting ready for Christmas, aren't they? So yeah. Adam May says still going the man, the myth, legend. Yeah, still going, but I am now going to say my goodbyes. I thought I'd just go up to like 1 hour 30 minutes, so that's where I've reached. So yeah, I'd like to say thanks everyone for watching. We got pretty far with these. Hopefully I'll just get them to a stage where I can just get them washed very soon. So I may try and do that just a bit later before I go to sleep. But yeah, £30 is a bit much, but I mean, if you bought the Champion and the Icon Bearer as well, then that's another £30 on top of it. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed the show, and I'm sorry again for the hiccups at the start, but we've managed to get a good hour-and-a-half show out of it. And for those who watch this back on YouTube, I do apologise it's slightly shorter this week, but it's been a good chat. I've had lots of regulars joining us this evening, so it's been great fun once we did go up and running. And yeah, you'll see these guys no doubt on Facebook and Instagram later on once they're done. So yeah, thanks everyone for joining me, and I'll see you all again next week. Yeah, should be same time next week.